Due to the controversy surrounding this game, we want to open with a quick statement. As three cis white guys talking about a video games over a Discord channel, or in this case, in person, we do not have the authority to speak to the controversy surrounding the game. We will try our best to speak solely about this game as its own entity and not as it pertains to views and beliefs of the original author.
Hello, thank you for tuning into the Joystick Frequency. It's a video game podcast that doubles as a video game book club where you're a member just by listening in. I'm your host, Trent. Joining me in person this time are my two co-hosts, Walker.
100% in the flesh.
And Brady.
99% in the flesh.
I have the other 1%.
Okay.
This is the level that we're going to be operating at today, by the way, guys.
Guys, we've been doing this for a year now.
Oh, yeah. That's the whole point that you're here in person.
That's right.
We've been doing this a year.
This will definitely be at the beginning of the podcast, but we're, an hour 50 into recording and completely forgot to even address that. But yeah, we've been doing this a year. This is the Joystick Frequency 1 year special, I guess. That's the whole reason why we're in person and everything.
We decided to take it easy on our editor and only have one stream of audio.
I feel like it's
going to be
harder.
It's going to be worse. Yeah,
so much crosstalk.
Not really, because it's just one cut. If we're talking over each other, she
it's what it is.
Yeah, she's just gonna be like, "Hey, I can't do anything about this. Good luck."
Yeah, so.
But yeah, so we've been doing this 1 year. We've done, I think this is it's either 10 or 11.
I think it's 10.
Hang on, let me go check the YouTube channel real quick.
10 seems right.
Because we got 2 that haven't come out yet. But yeah, so we have 7 out. So then we have Goaty after that one, and then we have. What did we record last time? Suggested Gaming.
Yes.
So that's not. So this is actually number 10.
Wow.
So not only is this the year, but it's also number 10. So
double digits.
Yeah,
let's go. We're doing it.
We did it.
So last time we talked about an assortment of games to start the Joystick Frequency's required gaming list. These are games that we've enjoyed over the years that really define us as gamers, some of our favorites. And this time, we're going to be discussing Hogwarts Legacy. As we usually start the podcast, we usually go into each other's months and what we've been playing.
Yeah, so this month, other than Hogwarts Legacy, obviously, I've been playing a little bit of Cities Skylines.
Is that why you're so hot on recommending
that's why
this game
I was recommending it earlier. The game is exactly what it sounds like. You build a city and make it function. And that is the whole of the game. You can either do free play where you can put as much stuff out for whatever budgets, or you can try to actually organically build a city starting with very little money and having to pay for things through taxes and stuff like that.
What's your typical go-to? Do you prefer the...
full sandbox.
Full sandbox? You want all the options available to you? You just want to make a pretty city?
I just want to make something look nice.
Tell me your process about making a good infrastructure.
So first, I make roads that go in a crisscrossy grid pattern, and then I just fill it all with industrial buildings to get the most pollution possible. Then I destroy all the industrial buildings, build up a lot of homes, and then make people live in the industrial wasteland.
Not a single stop sign, not a single...
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
No. These are all gravel roads, by the way. Full 10-story apartment buildings, gravel roads.
My God.
So anyway, what did y'all play this month?
Did I play this month? I booted up Pokemon for the first time in ages to get the limited release of Walking Wake, and did you not see this?
What?
Oh,
this
fuck!
Is
I didn't see this in the Discord. There were 2 new Paradox forms released, one for each edition of the game. You got Walking Wake, which is a Suicune Paradox form for Scarlet, and Metal. What is the fucking Iron
Leaves?
Iron Leaves. Something. It's a future Paradox of Virizion, who apparently is a monster in raid battles. Walking Wake is so fucking cool. Walking Wake is a water dragon, and
cool. Iron Leaves is steel grass, I'm assuming?
It's grass psychic, I think, is what it ended up being.
Interesting. And it's a boss in raids?
Mm-hmm.
What?
It was there.
Does it have good stats?
Oh,
Never mind.
Yeah, so in 2 ways. One, it is a raid boss that you have to beat to catch it. You only get 1 per game. but its stats are off the fucking charts apparently, and it's built for like taking down different raid dens. It's got a ton of different like moves.
Walking Awake looks very cool.
It's
He just showed me a picture. It
massive,
looks
dude.
incredible.
You can like let it out in game, like in a typical picnic area, and it, like towers over you.
That also looks very cool, but I do like Walking Awake's design better.
Oh fuck! What games did I play this month? I actually don't remember what games. I've
Yeah.
only been playing Hogwarts.
See, this is
I was taking a cool down from the Celeste. Frankly, I went back into Celeste a little bit to start doing. There's a DLC portion of the game that I never actually played called Farewell, I believe. Minor spoiler for Celeste, I guess, in the post game. I mentioned very briefly that there's some characters that you meet through the journey in Celeste. One of them being an old lady that lives in the mountain. This DLC takes like one year after you finish your climb, and that old lady's fucking died, and your girl is dealing with the trauma of that. And it's some of the hardest platforming the game has to offer. It is buck wild. I'll show you all later on this evening. It's fucking bonkers.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, I remember playing through that one. That's where I turned on all the accessibility features to make it to where I could beat the game.
Oh no, we suffer in this house. But aside from that, I haven't really been playing too much aside from Hogwarts Legacy. Really just been playing catch up for the most part.
So this month I spent more time backtracking on some games that I've played recently instead of finding anything really new other than Hogwarts Legacy. I went back and I finally 100%ed the base game of Sniper Elite 5, which took a lot. I've gone through and I'm almost done 100%ing Dark Souls, the original, or not the original, the remastered version with a buddy. I'm still working on Hades. And
That was a game I haven't picked up in ages. It got left behind. Once we beat the main story, it was like, okay, we'll come back to you. We have other stuff we want to play. We haven't gone back yet.
Yeah. I've also gotten a bit more into League of Legends again. I've been playing ranked with Nathan a bit and enjoying that again. I actually have a small tournament I'm going to be in next weekend to just for fun because I like playing the game at a competitive level, and unfortunately, whenever you're going to a game with either 3 to 4 complete strangers that don't even communicate to you in a voice channel, it's not really the best competitive experience. So I figured, hey, let's sign up for an actual tournament, and then you can actually experience this game at a competitive level. So that'll be fun.
Super fun.
Here, one second. I'm going to really quickly check and see, because I think I've got my Xbox dash bar in here, but I might be able to check and see what games I've gotten achievements in recently. Boop.
You know you can do that with just Windows G, right?
I did not. Can I check what I'm looking for here?
Oh, no, you need to open the actual app.
Oh, I opened the wrong one. I opened the game bar.
Is this good content?
Xbox console. Yeah, this
Us
is
looking at
great,
stuff?
right? This is a fun time. Everyone's loving this. As I'm clicking around on my computer,
So-
trying to find.
So, Casa, this will probably be the longest recording compared to actual content podcast that we have.
About? No, I have not played jack squat. Okay, this was all for naught.
Honestly,
Thanks, guys.
we could probably cut this recording session in half, and like the serious stuff is our normal episode, and then we have a second episode release that's just oops all bits.
Oops, all bits. Oh, I think I uninstalled the Xbox app. I was going to see what else I played, because I swear I'm missing something that I played.
Yeah,
I feel like I played something like new, but I don't know.
I played Mario Kart the other night for the first time in a while. That was fun. There's been some new booster maps which have been a blast.
Haven't played Mario Kart in forever.
Frankly, I'm enjoying this like nice slow period of the year because it's about to get fucking buck wild here in the next couple months.
Yeah. Get ready for next ones to be about No, not next one.
We don't know next one yet, believe it or not.
Yeah. In a few podcasts, we'll be doing the Jedi Fallen Order sequel, which goes right into Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And I'm pretty sure there's some game that comes out in June that I can't remember right now,
Probably, yeah.
but that we've been waiting for as well. Not to mention, The second they announce Silk Song, that's the podcast. That's my part of the podcast. Sorry, guys.
I do need to go through and play Hollow Knight. I probably should start playing Hollow Knight sometime soon so that we can prepare myself for when that inevitably comes out. Because it's supposed to come out this year.
Come on, Team Cherry. I'm waiting on you. Please. I just need a morsel.
They're working on it, allegedly.
Theoretically.
Bippity boppity boo. Hey, magic. It's a game.
Jesus Christ.
I have 3 shinies. How many do y'all have?
3.
I got the bag capture last night. Trent is seething right now. No one can see it, but he... That's not the actual intro.
So anyway, welcome to our discussion of Hogwarts Legacy, if you couldn't already tell. I guess we're going to go ahead and get this out of the way. We probably won't go into heavy story spoilers or anything, but just minor spoilers for Hogwarts Legacy and the entirety of the game.
Yeah. That works for me. I mean, speaking from my perspective, I haven't beaten the game yet. I just unlocked Beast Capture, as I alluded to a minute ago.
Yeah.
Which I think, from what Emma was telling me, is about maybe a third of the way through the game.
Really?
I'd say it's a little bit farther.
A little bit further?
Okay.
Okay, maybe.
That's about where I'm at, too.
Okay.
I literally haven't played it in a week because not only am I getting a Series S, so I'll finally go to the next-gen console next month, but my friend who I license share with has already bought the game for Xbox, and Xbox is going to have achievements. I don't want to burn myself out on the PC version yet before I have a chance to go and just get all the achievements on that one. So I'll probably I'll eventually finish my one playthrough on the PC and then do the other 3 houses on Xbox, and then barely start a Slytherin one just to get the achievement for it.
Do you have to beat the game as a house to get an achievement?
You don't have to beat, but I think you need to get to a certain point in the story. I think it's seeing your common room for the first time.
Okay, that's not terrible.
That's not horrible,
That's not too
but yeah. No, you have to get to the map room with each character.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't dove crazy into looking at the achievements or anything because obviously I don't have the game yet. But I've been enjoying it mostly on PC.
Yeah, I mean it's been a good time so far. I'll have a little bit of knowledge of what is ahead of me because before I got to play the game, I sat back and watched as my partner played the game, which was a fantastic time. So I know some of the general stuff that happens later on in the game, but there are many points where I woke up in the middle in the middle of a cutscene that she was playing. So I who knows? I've got bits and pieces.
I have finished the game, so any spoilers for the in-game will probably come from me today.
Followed by a quick...
Oh my god.
Shut up!
So,
Too far!
So, what do we want to talk about first with Hogwarts Legacy?
So, Hogwarts Legacy is a 2023 action role-playing game developed by Avalanche Software and published by Warner Bros. Games under its Portkey Games label. The game is set in the Wizarding World universe, taking place in the late 1800s, a century prior to the events chronicled in the Harry Potter novels. And a pretty damn good representation of that world. As someone who grew up reading and watching a lot of the films, it really captures the world pretty phenomenally.
I honestly think that's the strongest point of this game. Just the fact that all these places that you've imagined in your head, you've seen in the movies, you go and you get this deja vu nostalgia feeling every single time you walk into a room in Hogwarts because you've already been here through the perspective of someone else. And now you're able to experience it yourself and walk around noticing each of the small details. You're able to just stare at something for as long as you want just to find all the unique stuff about it. And it's just so good.
Yeah, this game was very obviously made by very passionate fans of this property.
Yeah.
I've also noticed, and this is a very minor thing, and it might not even be worth mentioning. I went to the Universal Studios Harry Potter World several years ago, and I found that I can't point to anything specific, but the vibes between Harry Potter World, Universal, and going to Hogsmeade or going through the inside of Hogwarts, also very much in line with that world. So all of this, they were very faithful to the source materials and the general literal magic and also figurative literary magic that this series brought to our childhoods.
It's really cool what they've done. I mean, straight up, I cried the first time. I'm a Hufflepuff through and through, but I cried the first time walking into the main like Hufflepuff common room area. It was so cozy. It was just exactly like what I wanted as a kid, you know, like, and I'm finally here and playing it, and you know, my character Feronius Figswizzle is finally living his best life.
Typical Hufflepuff.
Typical Hufflepuff. My moment like that was when I first walked into the Great Hall.
Ooh.
And I saw the tables and the big golden owl lectern and the floating candles up on the ceiling. It was incredible. Such a great moment.
The sky effect has always been cool, and they did such a good job of it in the movies as well. But it's being able to go and visit at different times of the day and it actually reflecting how the sky looks, or if it's when I was watching some of my partners play through, like it would be snowy and foggy in the different seasons, or it would be like, you know, just cool stuff.
I think my first moment actually came before I even got to Hogwarts. It was whenever in the opening mission that you going through the Gringotts mines and everything. I remember that was one of my favorite parts of the original movies, and being able to go through it this time and be able to control the camera myself looking around was like really cool. And just the attention to detail, you'll hear us talk about it over and over again. The attention to detail in this game is at such a level that I don't think there's ever been a movie or franchise to game adaptation that has been this well detailed and specific and accurate.
Not to over talk about the attention to detail, but have y'all seen some of the videos going around with people? Yeah, didn't silence your recording 101, baby. You didn't silence your cell phone. Brady's scrambling to silence his right
mine's
now.
Mine's already checked. I silenced mine earlier, but I don't trust my own brain, so I always have to double check.
Inevitably, I say that, and my phone will go off here in like 5 minutes. Yeah, not to hammer it home, but with the attention to detail, there's some videos that have been going around of people reading passages from the books and taking the character and walking through that segment of like Hogsmeade or like the castle, even down to like I'm not sure if y'all have been super far into the dungeons. I don't know how much you've explored throughout the castle, but you can find like the Death Day room and stuff for all the different ghosts.
Really?
Yeah, it's hidden behind one of the Illigamora locks if you go into the dungeons. But like the lighting changes to like this blue color, and all the headless hunt are running around talking to each other, and just the accuracy is incredible.
Hogwarts in the books is portrayed as something of a labyrinthian maze, which
oh boy,
boy did they capture that. There are parts of the castle where I will cast Revelio, which is basically a revealing ability that you have to see loot boxes you can pick up.
It's this game's detective vision.
Yeah, detective vision, something like
Eagle
that.
Pulse or whatever.
There are parts of the castle that I can see that there are chests.
Yeah.
I can see that there are chests that I want to go open. And for the 40 to 60 hours that I've put in this game, I have not been able to find a way to get to them. Because Hogwarts is a maze.
It truly is.
In the best way possible. I don't mean to say that in a weird way it's a maze, but it's not difficult to navigate where you want to go. It wouldn't be a real Harry Potter game if there wasn't magic, because that's what Harry Potter is all about.
You gotta have some magic.
So
wizarding game.
Yeah, let's talk about the magic system. I think
what are y'all's thoughts?
The first thing to talk about is just the basic structure of it, right? You've got 3 kind of 4 types of spells. You have attacking spells. Oh gosh, what is the?
They're broken up into different groups because you have the conjuration. You've got
So basically, you have your ones that can be used for or like are specifically used for combat most of the time. Then you have your utility ones, and then you have the ones that are just for exploration. Honestly, I think.
Yeah. Oh, there's also the essential ones, which are just built into your like have the hot buttons on like Revelio and stuff like that. I've got a list of them here, actually. We can kind of use that as a cross reference.
And then, so the combat... Well, actually, they're all split into 4 different... or not 4, but different categories as well, because you have your transfiguration magic, you have your... What's Confringo and all that? What kind of magic is that?
Those are...
Charms or hexes?
Damage is what they're classified as.
Okay, so, yeah.
Okay, I've got them all here. Let me just read them out real quick. So we have the essential ones, which are hot mapped onto your different controllers. Onto your different controller buttons. This is your Protego, which is your counter buttons, your basic casts, your ancient magic,
Your Stupefy, your Revelio.
yeah, Alohomora, that kind of stuff. After that, you've got your utility stuff, which is going to be your Lumos, your the Heidi one.
Leviosa.
You have my arm cracking.
Heidi
the Heidi one. That's what he does every time. It's the stupid
Disillusionment.
The Disillusionment, yeah. Wingardium Leviosa. You've got the control spells, which let you handle different movements. So this will be your Glacius, Levioso.
Descendo.
No, so these are the yellows specifically. I guess it'd be easier just to talk about them in color.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got 4 colors of spells.
I think there's more than 4.
There's 5.
There's
I
yellow,
think there's 6.
red, purple,
Yellow, red, purple.
blue, green. What's the 6th?
And dark green.
Dark green?
Curses.
Oh, curses. I never used the curses.
You dumb fuck. I kicked the table, damn it.
Start
it over.
Okay.
We're waffling, guys.
Okay.
Let's just talk generally about the magic.
Let's
instead of
talk
trying to break
generally-
down a full mechanic. Because there's a lot to it, in all honesty. It is a wide range. But all kind of boils down to you've got a very basic cast which doesn't have any sort of cooldown on it. Which is you can do by tapping the trigger really quickly. It is like what you see in the movies. It is just throwing a lot of magic to deal some damage to someone.
Yeah, and whenever specifically you're using it in combat, it does like a 4-hit combo, and then you start it over again, pretty much.
I guess going from that to just like combat-oriented spells, how do you feel like the combat plays for you guys, at least in where you're at in the games?
I thought, by the end of it, with all the different spells you could utilize, there was a lot of variety and a lot of interesting things you could do with spell combos. Specifically, Glacio is one of my favorite spells, the one that freezes people.
Yes.
Because it is so fun to blow a frozen person up. That is my favorite thing to do in this game. Glacio and Bombarda, favorite combo.
Ooh. See, I haven't gotten Bombarda yet. I'm very excited to get that because I've seen my partner playing around with that one and it looks very powerful.
I'm excited for the Transfiguration spell to be turning people into fucking teacups and shit.
Yes. In combat, you only transform them into one thing, which is a red barrel.
Oh.
Shit! Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What?
Which are the explosive barrels, yeah?
Mm-hmm. So you can either throw them at somebody and kill both of them, or just hit the barrel twice, blow it up, and kill the person you transfigured. Transfiguration is the strongest spell in the game.
Wow. There's an
other than the unforgivable curses,
which can combo really nicely. From what I've seen online, there's a lot of like wild shit you can do with the
I think
unforgivable
they did
curses.
a great job of making the unforgivable curses very similar to what they are in the Harry Potter world, which is something incredibly powerful, but also incredibly sketchy and taboo. Because Avada Kedavra just kills anything.
Literally
anything. And that's an ability your character has in a video game.
Yeah. I'm tempted. I kind of want to Avada Kedavra the final boss and see if it works.
Yeah, they compensate by making it have a super long cooldown whenever you use it, from what I've heard. But yeah, you can just flat out kill a guy.
Well, I mean, have you looked through the skill trees and stuff yet?
Yes.
So in some of the Dark Art skill trees, you can like tag people with like a curse mark.
Yeah.
You can cause different spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you know exactly where I'm going with this.
This is what I'm building towards.
You can set up different spells to act as curses. You can go through and mark as many people as possible by just like tapping them or deflecting like some of their spells. And then you can get the final unlock for Avada Kedavra, like the boost for that one. It'll kill every single enemy that's cursed actively. So you can just wipe the field instantly.
Yeah. It's pretty good. And I don't know if they're as taboo as they are in the actual Harry Potter series. We should probably also state that this game takes place in the 1800s.
Yes.
Which
about 100 years before.
Yeah, I think it's 1880s.
Yeah.
or 90s.
That sounds right.
Yeah, so pretty much anyone you've met in the Harry Potter universe, you will not see here. I think there might be one or two that I haven't gotten to yet, so I say that with a grain of salt. So we'll see where that is. I actually went and Googled. Apparently, Dumbledore is like.
Yeah, my partner and I were talking about this. Dumbledore is he'll be getting his letter right about where our game takes place.
Yeah, which is crazy.
So he would probably be a first year. If we could run into him, that would be kind of cool.
Wow.
Hey guys, Avalanche DLC idea.
Oh, you know what the DLC is going to be. Because there's the only thing that's not in this game right now.
Quidditch.
They're going to put Quidditch in the game's DLC. Because they have a broom flying mechanic. They've got the fly through hoops mechanic. Just add a button to grab stuff in the air and you're done. Very excited for potential Quidditch DLC. But yeah, I guess back to combat real quick. We kind of got a little bit sidetracked, which is going to be the definition of today. Combat flows pretty well. I feel like I struggle a little bit in trying to come up with a good combo for my specific wheel layout. Mm-hmm. Through the skill tree, you can unlock up to 4 different spell
loadouts.
Loadouts, that's what they're called.
You slot your spells into one of 4 buttons, and you press those buttons to cast the spells, and you can have up to 4 of those wheels, and you can alternate between them, and those are your spells. That's how you cast spells, is by using those spell slots.
So there's a little bit of trying to feel out where do I slot the specific spells in that feels super comfortable, and the ones I'm hitting right in combat. I'm struggling to figure out what combo is the best together. I feel like currently I've got 2 or almost even 3 of my loadouts are dedicated purely to combat. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I've got a 4th one that's just kind of my catch-all. It'll be either my exploration or my beast catching wheel or what, utilities, whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do as well. And in combat, enemies can have different shields relating to each of the different classes of magic, so they really want you to use not just specialize in one class. They want you to use all of them. So I found that the best thing to do is I have one that'll have 2 reds on the wheel, and then a yellow and a purple. The next one I'll have 2 purples, and then 1 yellow, 1 red, and then the last one I'll have 2 yellows, 1 red, 1 purple. That way, if I notice that there are more enemies of a certain shield color, I swap to the right wheel, and then I can just completely breeze through that combat a lot easier than if I'm waiting on the cooldown for a purple spell to break some guy's shield.
There are also, yes, the strategy you're describing is basically what I did, where I had 2 reds, a yellow, and a purple for all my spells. I would just blow through all of them, switch, blow through all those spells, switch, blow through all those spells, and by the time I was done with that, it's time to go back to the first wheel. But there are also other ways to break shields besides specific spells. So the shields come in yellow, purple, and red, and you can only break the shields with
the correlating
color of magic. You can also break the shields with ancient magic, which is something your character has that no other character has.
Ooh, the MacGuffin of the game.
The MacGuffin of the game. And Stupefy can also break those shields.
Which is so nice.
Which is one of the better mechanics in this game, is Stupefy and Protego. If anybody has ever played a Rocksteady Batman game, Arkham Knight, Arkham City,
I'm glad you mentioned this.
The combat is kind of similar in that mobs of enemies come at you. You can press a button to counter. Mm-hmm. Some enemies have stronger attacks where you have to dodge, and you have your own abilities you can use to throw at enemies.
It is the Batman game, but if Batman didn't throw any punches and instead only used his toolkit.
And was just super nice to everybody all the time.
Oh, you played a nice character. I also played a nice character.
I played a nice character. From what I've seen, and this is absolutely another sidetrack, it's very difficult to play a mean character. Where your character is always polite, no matter what. Even if you may be doing bad things, but you're always very genial and friendly about it.
Gotcha.
Which is one of the bigger complaints I've heard, is that you can go Dark Wizard, but you can't go Dark Wizard.
Right. From what I was seeing with all the options, typically read as there's a good option and there's a bad option, and that's kind of how you would progress through the game. But I would almost always default to the top option, which is always like, hey,
be friendly, nice.
Be friendly,
It's Harry Potter.
happy and hope, and yeah.
So I actually have the list of the spells here, so we can actually go through them real quick.
Yeah.
Just talk a little bit about them. The one with the hand, that's Arresto Memento,
That's
right?
Arresto Memento.
So Arresto Memento,
which I just started using. Works great for beast capture.
Yeah.
You can just lock a beast in place and then just walk out. It only works for like 2 or 3 of the inputs.
I want to say, yeah, the yellow skills like that, Wingardium Leviosa, anything that like lifts someone up in the air or holds something still, very good for beast capture.
So Arresto Memento just like stops and slows down people, levitates them slightly. Glacio freezes.
Yep. Which freezes, but also will let your next attack deal more damage.
Yeah.
Correct.
Wingardium Leviosa is an upgrade of one that you get at the beginning, Levioso. And this, instead of just being just a regular where you can make something levitate, it actually allows you to control and move it around.
This one's more of one of the utility spells.
Yes.
I don't think it can be used in combat. Maybe
It can.
It can?
It can?
Yeah.
You pick people up and just move them around.
No, it's like it's a quick combat version of it, like just like it's Levioso pretty much.
Oh, okay. So just okay, cool.
And then the Transfiguration one. What is that one?
That turns your enemy into an exploding barrel.
Yeah, but what's the name of it? I haven't unlocked it yet. So the rat teacup.
Yeah, it's I think it's just whatever the basic Transfiguration.
Yeah, no idea.
You have your Accio, which is a utility one, but I've found that I use it in combat a lot more often than I do.
Accio does not play for me as a utility anymore. It is purely a combat one. I've used it a little bit here and there. It's fun grabbing pages out of the sky.
Of course.
Yeah.
Accio and Incendio always go together.
Yes.
Because Incendio is such short range.
Mm-hmm. You got to pull people
Get
in.
over here.
You got Depulso, which just lets you let out a blast.
It's your
push
Fusroda,
yeah. Descendo allows you to bash a floating enemy down on the ground.
I saw a great Descendo. Someone depulsoed someone off a cliff and Arresto Mementoed them, and the NPC's dialogue was like, "Put me down this instant." He's like, I Descendo straight into an abyss.
Oh man. Then I should have said Arresto Memento, Glacio, Levioso, and the Transform one are yellow. Accio, Depulso, Descendo, and this last one, Flipendo, are all purple. Flipendo is just another way to levitate someone, except you like flip them in the air a couple times.
It's also useful for some minigame puzzles.
Yeah.
I was wondering. I came across one puzzle that I just could not figure out how to do. I was trying to lift it because
I was the one with the block.
Yes, yeah,
That's
the one with the
Flipendo.
block. Yeah, that makes so much sense now.
I had to Google it.
Now your red ones, you have I think that one's Confringo.
Confrigo.
Yeah, Confrigo, which is just a blast. It's a firebolt, pretty much.
Yeah.
What's the slashing one? I can't remember.
Defendo's great.
Defendo, yeah, that one. I wouldn't want to be hit by that one.
Yeah, that one's just a slash that deals a really good amount of damage.
Yeah, it fucking. That one seems pretty
targeting
brutal.
gets weird if your target is on the ground, like knocked down.
Yes.
It can sometimes miss, but
I've had it go through the ground and come back up and hit someone, which kind of crazy. Your regular Expelliarmus, which I'm not gonna lie, as soon as I learned that spell, I got a little giddy because of just how much they use it in the series. I fucking love that one. I think
not like
you don't like.
I found you fight wizards, but you don't fight so many of them. It just didn't feel.
Have you used Expelliarmus on the knights with the weapons?
The knights in Hogwarts?
No, like the ancient magic.
Yes, yeah.
It works.
Whenever you do that, they let go of their weapon, and then you can grab their weapon.
Yeah. You can do that with goblin weapons too.
See, I feel like maybe I wasn't using it right, but I feel like there was way too many cases where it wasn't knocking their weapon out of their hand, and it wasn't even stopping them for me. So I don't know if it was.
If you hit a shield that it's not the right color.
No, like
won't do that.
An unshielded enemy.
There are certain times it'll knock it out of his hand, but it doesn't give me the option to throw it at them.
And I haven't even gotten that upgrade yet, so maybe it's just because I haven't upgraded it, it's not operating the same way.
There's also a upgrade for Expelliarmus in the Dark Arts tree.
Oh yeah,
that lets you curse people.
That's why I like it.
That is one of the reasons that works. You also have that for Arresto Momentum, which is so good.
Really, I would not think that
it's
one
one of
would
the
curse
higher
people. This one I haven't unlocked yet, but it's Bombardo.
It is a bolt, kind of like Firebolt, but instead of exploding in fire, it's just pure force, and it's a lot bigger AoE.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's a base explosion.
It's a big force explosion.
Then you have Incendio, which is
a short-range fire spell.
Yeah, it's a short-range fire spell, and whenever you upgrade it, it actually lets out a ring and hits
AoE.
multiple people.
Mm-hmm.
Very good for the inferior.
So, in combat, one of the things that I've done is I've got two of my specific things. I've got a long-range wheel and a close-range wheel. So, I've got Accio and Levioso on one, but also Incendio, and I think I have Defendo on both of these wheels. But that way you just pull them close, then hit them with Incendio, which I think you already mentioned earlier, Brady. But then I've got another one which is Depulso, which shoots them away, and then I've got my long range ones, my Defendo and my Confringo, and I can fuck them up at a distance.
It's also a good tactic to have your fire spells in multiple wheels and not bunched up together, because there's a certain class of enemy called Inferi that can only be damaged if they are on fire.
Yep.
If they are not on fire, they are invulnerable.
I do wish there was a little bit more of that style of combat in the game.
Not invulnerable.
Not invulnerable.
Because they still die to fall damage.
Oh, shit, really?
Yes, just launch them off a fucking cliff.
Okay.
If you don't have a fire spell ready right now, just launch them off a cliff.
Something I've noticed, if you use Ancient Magic on Inferi, normally it cycles through a random type of magic.
Yeah.
If the Inferi isn't on fire, it will always default to either your fire, it'll just shoot fire on it, or it'll call lightning, which is also kind of a heat-based thing.
I like that. That's a nice little touch.
It's a nice little touch, I noticed.
Then you have your more utility ones. You got Disillusionment. This is your invisibility. This is how you do stealth in the game.
Yeah.
Your Lumos, which it's a light at the tip of your wand.
Useful for transporting moths.
Yes. You got Reparo. Oh, that's something we need to discuss. Puzzles.
Yeah, we'll come back to that in the exploration, I'm sure.
Reparo just allows you to repair stuff that's been broken. And then Levioso, which we've already covered, is just the version you have before you get Wingardium Leviosa. This just allows stuff to float. It doesn't really give you the control of it yet. And then you have your spells that are specific for the room of requirements. I don't remember the names of this because I don't spend too much time in the room of requirement.
You got one that destroys stuff, one that creates stuff, and one that lets you alter stuff. That's basically what it boils down to. It all operates on this Moonstone currency. We can loop back around to this later on.
Mm-hmm. And then you have your three killing curses, Avada Kedavra, Imperio, Crucio. And Avada Kedavra, kills. Imperio is...
Lets you take over an enemy.
It's mind control.
Okay. And then Crucio's the suffering one.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's basically a big CC.
And then...
It does a lot of damage. So.
And then the only other things in your spell wheel are stuff for whenever you take care of beasts. It's your bag that you use to capture beast food, and as well as a brush whenever you're taking care of them.
And that's all the stuff that you can hook into those different wheels that we were talking about earlier.
Those are, yes, as we mentioned earlier, there are other ways for you to use magic interacting through the game, but those are the spells on your spell wheel. And those are the spells that you actually learn during your classes at Hogwarts.
Because what would Hogwarts be? What would a game about going and attending a wizarding school be with if you didn't go and attend a wizarding school?
Yeah. The only issue I have with classes is I wish that after the first one that you have in each class, it didn't just automatically be like, oh, you went to class, now you're going to learn the spell. I wish that they actually made in-depth lessons for you to actually go through every single time you learn a spell. I think that
more.
Yeah, they did that whenever you're first introducing to the teachers and learning the first spell that they teach you. But after that, it's really more just you go to the class, small cutscene plays, and then the class is over, and you go to the teacher to learn the spell.
I think if they had too many class segments, it would have dragged. I
feel like gameplay-wise, it makes sense why they didn't, but I also wouldn't be opposed to just a full
an optional class thing would also be.
Yeah, some people would definitely have an issue with that. They'd be like, "Oh, come on, I don't want to go through this every time." But then there are people like me that I would fucking love that.
Mm-hmm. So, I think personally the classes are some of the strongest points in the game. I really enjoyed the characterization that comes out of them. it makes so much sense that you're going to go to this class and it's actually going to teach you a mechanic of the game in one way or another. Like if you go to herbology, it's like, hey, you're going to be able to plant like different types of plants, but you can also use them in combat. Here, go test it out. Like here's how it works, and you can use it in combat here. You go to potions, like, hey, go craft a couple potions. You're going to need different resources to do it. Go grab a couple of these, and this is how you get them. And that expands to, most of the game, whether it be learning the different, charms, like pulling. You're introduced to a mini game with like wizard summoning a summoner's court.
It's basically shuffleboard, but for wizards.
It's reverse shuffleboard.
Yeah. You got that. Broom flying is also a class. Taking care of beasts is a class. I think also for me, one of the strong points of the classes was the characterization of your fellow students.
Yes.
You're in school, so of course it makes sense that you meet most of your friends in class.
Yeah.
That's what you do most of the time. And I think that structure gave the scenes with your classmates in classes, I think, were the best character moments because it really gave that school atmosphere. Because the rest of the time you're interacting in your off time and extracurricular, and that could just be adults doing their thing. Only students go to class.
Loved all the students except for the snivelly little bitch in broom class. I really don't like him. I appreciate that he can't afford a broom, and I wish I could buy him a broom as a good friend. It only costs 600 galleons. Go loot a couple rooms and come back and you can afford it.
By the end of the game, I can get you that.
Yeah, I can get you that. No problem, my dude.
But that was also... Wasn't that the only Ravenclaw side character? Like the only real side character?
I haven't seen very many Ravenclaws, and I'm at the point you're at in the game. So
there's not a ton of them.
Yeah, there was a couple points where I thought they would use Ravenclaw for certain things. Like the first time you meet Poppy, I think, which is one of the Hufflepuff students. Mm-hmm. She's standing in front of one of the mirror puzzles that are hidden around, the moth mirrors. Mm-hmm. She's the one who introduces you to this puzzle game, which is a little weird. But yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of Ravenclaws. Slytherins get like a whole quest line. So do Hufflepuffs.
So does Gryffindor.
Does Gryffindor?
Mm-hmm. Nazi Onai is. Gryffindor.
Oh, that's right. Man, Ravenclaw does kind of get shafted.
Ravenclaw gets nothing. Yeah.
Who's the Hufflepuff one? Is it just Poppy?
Poppy, sweetie.
So she gets her...
Poppy gets the main quest line that you can run with.
Okay.
Yeah, they both have.
It's beast centric.
Okay.
All three of those. Sebastian Sallow is the Slytherin main friend character.
As well as Ominous Gaunt.
Ominous, yeah.
Ominous is a big part of that. I think Sebastian is
he's definitely the
flagship Slytherin.
Yeah, he's definitely the focal point. I just wanted to bring it up.
Yes,
Ominous Gaunt.
Ominous is great. We stand Ominous.
I've only met him twice, and the second time I pissed him off, and I'm like, no.
Ominous is fantastic.
I would die for the Weasley child that is in the potions class. He is such a sweetheart and just wants to make shit that
explodes. He's Fred and George in one.
Right.
Before they were born.
There's one Gryffindor kid that you meet in herbology. She shows up like twice, and he is the most awkward, like normal high school kid ever. And I didn't like him, but it was very much a good world building character for me. It was like, yeah, of course there's some shitty high school jocks in Hogwarts.
Yeah,
he's the one in the dueling, the final boss of the dueling thing as well.
He also shows up in the
shuffleboard
summoners court.
As
one of the worst players.
Yeah, I hate that guy.
I don't like him, but I like that I don't.
He freaks me out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. He seems a little too aggressive. He's like, we can let the chump gadgets just go to fucking town on someone. Wouldn't that be fun? That's fun, right, guys? Like, all right, calm down a little bit.
I do that all the time in my free time on these goblins, but you know.
Eating tapes.
What did we say we were going to talk about after classes?
Well, the classes eventually lead you to discovering certain things like in herbology and potions where you're limited to only one or two different locations where you can plant a plant and create a potion. Then you run into our good friend, the vice principal Weasley, who is a lovely character, I think. She gives super sweet and loving aunt vibes or grandmotherly, I'll look after you.
She also is the headmaster without being the official. She is very much the Dumbledore and McGonagall rolled into one.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's McGonagall in frickin' year 5 whenever Dumbledore is literally in his office doing absolutely nothing until...
Yeah, exactly.
Before we go on to because I know where you're leading, I wanted to just bring about how, like, the classes don't really baby you either, because whenever you start the story, you're a very unique case of starting as a 5th year instead of a regular first year in Hogwarts. So it's like they took, like, the babying tutorial first 2 years of Hogwarts out so that we could actually, like, jump into the world and actually be able to experience all this stuff, especially because with 5th year becomes you get certain permissions like the ability to go to Hogsmeade and everything, which we'll discuss later and everything. It gives you a lot more exploration in the world. So I'm glad that we start at this point instead of becoming a first year and then having to be confined to the school the entire time.
Right. I mean, granted, I wouldn't have too much of an issue being confined to the school. I did not realize that there was an open world aspect to this game at all. I was shook when I walked outside. I was like, oh, fuck, I could just go? I could just run away? Okay, interesting. I would have been more than content just running around Hogwarts, because I think, speaking kind of to some of the schooling aspects, I think the way that the developers designed Hogwarts is so clever. Obviously, it captures the labyrinthian, like, architecture and style, the different Escher inspirations and, like, the stuff that we see in the films or reading the books. But it also works as a very good practice ground for every different kind of spell, like, or different exploration aspects. It really teaches you, hey, look, you can run around and, you never know, there might be a wall that pushes in and you might be able to go and explore that, or there's different puzzles, there's some rooms that are hidden down in the dungeons that you can't get access to unless you find, a lockpicking spell. And realistically, if this is a world which has lockpicking spells, the faculty wouldn't just leave their doors on a level 1 lockpicking spell. They would have unbreakable, like, locks on their doors or something else. But the fact that it's level 1 makes me think, oh, well, they're going to ease you into it a little bit. Like, the worst that can happen here if you're caught sneaking around is, oh, you're caught, tisk tisk. And when you go out into the real world, you get caught, they'll fucking snipe you. Like,
I don't know, man. Don't they threaten to expel Sebastian at some point?
Well, he's not expelled. So, Peeves is just a shit, though, and just in general.
So, in addition to, like, some of these secret patches and rooms that you can find, there's a specific room that's introduced to you that's some of those spells that we mentioned earlier actually come into play in. Miss Weasley, the headmaster, at some point will actually, to aid you in your studies, since you're a 5th year, you're having to play catch up with all the other students. She's trying to give you access to a space where you can work on all your spells, potions, and herbology in private, somewhere you can concentrate. And she actually seeks out to find the room of requirement with you. And once you do, you can transform into your own place, and it's kind of your own
base of operations.
Yeah, what do you call it? Like, whenever you can design it any way you want. You can put certain furniture down and stuff like that. It's almost like a Sims, like a Sims for your a Sims like room almost.
There is a lot of, like,
it's a base building.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Base building
area. Yeah. And in that, there's a ton that you can do inside this room of requirement. I think let's kind of hit on a couple of the big points. Because, I mean, you could talk for ages about customizing, because there's so many personalization options. As you go out into the world, there's collection chests which offer more and more, like, different things that you can put up inside the room of requirement. But
some of them can vary from being, like, art that you put on the walls to being statues and stuff like that. And some of the other stuff that you'll use the moonstones for can be, like, these make more potion tables and herbology pots so that you can, like I said, work on your craft a little bit more. You can plant all these dangerous plants and everything, and you can leave them be for a while and then come back. And they'll be fully grown so that you can add them to your arsenal.
Yeah, I would say the highlight of the room of requirement, though, are the vivariums that you unlock as you progress through the story. These vivariums are basically magical pocket dimensions where you can keep your beasts that you free from poachers in the wild. As you progress through the story, you unlock several of them so that you can have different types of beasts in different types of environments. But basically, you go into this doorway that is set in your room of requirement, and you show up outside somewhere with a bunch of your beasts that you can feed, pet, collect resources from. Which isn't why we capture beasts.
No, totally not. We're not as bad as the poachers are.
Nice
we show them love.
Fully upgraded gear. That is very nice.
Yes.
But yeah, that is, for me at least, the highlight was the beast stuff. That
the beast
was
stuff
the main reason
cool.
I played the room requirements stuff.
I
Walker collects them because he sees something shiny. He's like, it must be mine.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I have unlocked the beast thing. I think I mentioned this earlier. But just unlocked the beast thing last night, so I only just got the vivariums and stuff. Instantly found shinies because my luck is bullshit. And I now have a shiny Niffler. He's my best friend.
At some point, I'm going to go back and collect at least one shiny from each race that you can get, because I think there are some beasts that you can only get one of.
Yeah.
Like there's a rideable beast that runs on the ground with tentacles on its face that you can.
I know that. I know that.
There's only one of those that you can get. There's only one phoenix that you can get. There are several hippogriffs and thestrals, but I think just the phoenix and the tentacle face.
We brought up thestrals, and I just need to bring out.
Oh my god!
I just need to bring out a point in the first opening cutscene. How I was sitting there whenever I was going through it. I was in a party with a friend, and I said to the friend, anytime they don't show something pulling a carriage, they could just be they could claim it's just magic whenever actually it's just a graphical bug. So I don't know if this is actually how it's supposed to look or not. Then I see someone die and it's being and then because you're not able to see thestrals until you've seen death for the first time, they appear like in the cutscene as soon as I see someone die. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm already in love with this game. It's fantastic.
That was the moment for me when I was like, okay, these people know what they're doing.
Yeah,
they read the material.
The opening cutscene, the beginning of the game as a whole, is incredibly well done. I was so distrustful of that George dude, or whoever the fuck his name was. I think it was George, who shows at the very beginning.
I don't know.
He
was
looks
there for
around
30
before
seconds.
he gets into the carriage. He looks around. I'm like, something's going on. I'm looking for something. Doesn't matter because in the next scene he gets fucking annihilated by a dragon.
Yep. I don't think we ever. Oh, never mind.
Another thing I had happen is I heard I was just randomly roaming the world and I heard a dragon roar all of a sudden. I look up in the sky and I'm like thinking back to Skyrim, like, oh fuck, is this thing about to come and land and I'm gonna have to fight it or something? Just kept flying luckily, and I'm like, in Skyrim, I'll fuck with a dragon, right? In here, I'm good later. I'm out. I'm not trying. All right. So, oh no.
So yeah, that's the room requirements.
Yeah. We should probably. One more thing the room requirement does for you is it allows you a device that
lets you identify magic or items that you can pick up.
Yeah.
Sometimes you won't be able to equip them right away. You need to identify them. There's a table for that. There's also a table to let you upgrade your gear. And other various crafting.
Yeah. It's a good place to just whenever you need to refuel on stuff quickly, swing back by the room requirement, grab your stuff, maybe pet some beasts.
You also have a sidekick in Deke. That's the name.
Love Deke.
Deke is a little house elf that kind of runs shit while you're gone.
He does, absolutely. I need to build him a throne.
Yes. Deke,
y'all aren't Slytherin, so I don't think y'all have met Scrope yet, right?
I finished the game and I don't know who Scrope is.
Yeah, okay, so that's a Slytherin thing. Got it. Yeah, you meet a house elf named Scrope in the Slytherin side.
Oh my gosh.
You do also, one of the customization things you can unlock for the room requirement is just mounted house elf heads.
Oh yeah, that's upsetting.
Which lorically is mentioned in the books that some families mount house elves.
Oh God!
So it was a very
do not like.
very faithful, but never went up in my place.
Oh gosh, there was.
My room's gonna be only for utility and terror.
Well, you are a Slytherin.
Oh, it just escaped me. No, I'll go back eventually.
All right, so since we were talking about that table and it allows you to identify gear, and we've already mentioned the ability to upgrade it and stuff, we should actually probably talk about what the gear is for a second.
Ooh, the drip in this game's fucking good, guys. There's some good fashion in this game.
There's always been talk of fashion souls whenever I'm playing through the Dark Souls games with any of my friends and everything. They always try and look like the best they can in this one. I've never had that experience. I go for functional or whenever I'm doing that. In this game, I started it, and after I'm picking up all this gear and everything, I'm like, oh, I look good. I look really good. And I've been playing fucking... I change my outfit every other day or something. I have like 5 set of outfits that I like change through as I go through the week, quote unquote.
There's a character in one of the manga that I read. His name is Kifri, and he basically has this like really nice white like robe and stuff. And I found something very similar in the game, so I was like cosplayed him for a little bit, which was fun.
Yeah, I had like 3 or 4 outfits. So I would go. One outfit was for when I was in Hogwarts. I was wearing my Hogwarts robe. If I left to go visit Hogsmeade, I had my Man About Town outfit.
Oh,
nice little jacket and vest. And then if I was out in the wilds, I had my Explorer outfit. So like half of my runtime was just me going in, changing all my clothes, coming out of the menu.
I so very much appreciate the fact that you can change the visuals of the outfit while wearing the gear and like stats of different ones, and it's so easy to do.
So easy.
It's fantastic.
It would be nice if you could save your customizations, but you have to reset it every time you equip it.
Yeah, I wish you could create like a loadout or something that you could very easily like equip, or it would just carry. Oh man, I understand why they did it the way they did it, but I
mean, by the time you get to the end of the game, you're not really switching your outfits very often at all.
Yeah.
And it's less of a problem once you're past the first 10 levels.
Yeah, and so all these gear slots help towards your offense and defense. I don't think I found any that help towards health. I think it's just your overall level that helps towards health.
I think all of the items that you can wear give you basically defense. All of them give you defense as a base. And then as you upgrade them at your item table, you can add attack to them. That's what the upgrade is.
I think there's like the ones on the left are attack and the ones on the right are defense. It's one of that. It's like 3 and 3 pretty much. Right.
And then some of them will come with like these unique little traits, or I guess traits is just the word for it.
What are they traits? Yeah, I think they are officially called traits.
They're officially called traits. They're just basically additional effects that you get.
Yeah, so for instance, you can get like Expelliarmus 1 and it'll make your Expelliarmus spell stronger. You can get some stuff that gives you bonus defense against certain monsters and stuff like that. And it's really cool because you can actually, not only can you set the gear that you want to look like, but you can also set it to how you want to be built for combat as well. They do a very good job of letting you choose exactly how you want to engage combat with your spells and how you want to fare in combat with your outfit.
Yeah, this game, as far as customization goes, gives you a ton of options in a ton of different areas.
And not just in, all the drip and stuff, obviously, but at the very beginning of the game, you get a ton of options available to you in, character creation, the look of your character. You can make them look like you can make them look like a freak. There's so many different options, including...
Okay.
I was this to have beards.
I was this close to making my character have green hair just because like I knew I was going to be Slytherin and everything. And I'm just like, nah, if you do that, you're trying too hard. Just go normal. And so I made him look like a good-looking version of me. I made him British Trent. My name is Percival.
Percival.
I don't remember the last name.
Derola.
No. Not that one. I got brown hair, not white. I got a wand, not a gun.
So, there are also a couple real quick things I wanted to touch on when it comes to customization. Since you can pick your house in this, which I appreciate the fact that they don't necessarily make you take the test and force you into whatever house If you have one that you really want to go into, you can go into that one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hidden behind like a one-word description of what the house is, but then you get taken to a big menu. It's like, are you sure you wish to join Hufflepuff?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
There also is a specialized quest that comes with each individual house. I was curious if y'all know what y'all's specific quests are. I know what they all are, house-based. Yours has to do, well, I guess, which house did everyone go into?
I chose Ravenclaw. That has been my house for a long time.
I'm Slytherin. The first time I tested Harry Potter, I was Slytherin. The second time I was Ravenclaw. The third time I was Slytherin, so it just makes sense.
And I'm Hufflepuff through and through, so...
Yeah, we know.
Hufflepuff, it would be my second choice.
Hufflepuff is fantastic, and the rooms are great. They look like the common rooms look like a little hobbit hole. And I've seen some bits from the Ravenclaw common room, and it is sick, honestly.
Cool. Yes.
As well as, I mean, the Slytherin room...
The Slytherin one feels like an icky sewer. It reminds me of the Thieves Guild in Skyrim a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, I say icky. It's very well clean and everything, but it does give me like Thieves Guild vibe from Skyrim, which I really like.
There is an Easter egg inside the Slytherin room I found out recently. So the Slytherin room, I believe, is underwater, technically, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you shot the window?
Have I shot the window? No.
If you shoot the window, I think it's 3 times, you'll get an interaction with the Kraken that lives in the lake, the giant squid.
No way.
Yeah.
That's dope. Oh, I need to go do that now.
Okay.
One of the first scenes that you get... Oh, it's actually whenever you're meeting Ominous. Ominous?
Ominous. Yeah.
Ominous for the first time. It's because there's a group of people out there talking about the mermaids in the lake and everything. Ominous is like brushing them off because they're their first years. They hear all these rumors and everything, and he doesn't care for them. So
Very interesting. So y'all got a chance to meet your individual, like the companion characters, right, from your classes as well. I do wish that stuck a little bit more in the story, because I got to meet obviously a couple other characters, but Poppy was one of the main ones. Mm-hmm. And when I went to Beast class later, Poppy was there. She's like, "Hi, I'm Poppy." I'm like, "We fucking met. I know."
See, well, so the Ravenclaw doesn't really have the same dedicated story side character that the other houses do. Mm-hmm. We do have a very Weasley little shithead that teaches you how to fly a broom. And I do get to interact with him at the very first time you see him in the common room. And he does mention that we've met before when I talked to him in broom class. So
that's nice. I don't know why.
Sometimes it does.
For Poppy.
Poppy doesn't care about people. She only cares about animals. So
fair.
She doesn't.
So from what I know, actually, I think there's only, and this may be wrong. I think there's 3 Slytherin people that you meet and talk to regularly. There's the one Ravenclaw guy, and then
there's a second Ravenclaw that has a side quest too.
Okay, there's Poppy, and then there's 2 Gryffindor people. Right?
So I think technically there's 3 for each house.
Okay,
but they all get varying levels. Like super early on in the game, in the Defense Against the Dark Arts Tower, for example, you can chat with one of the Hufflepuffs who gives you a treasure map to help you go and find.
Oh, that guy. Okay, yeah, I forgot about him.
I guess you also
he's a sweetheart. He's a fucking dweeb, but he's a sweetheart.
I think I do like him.
Yeah.
There's also that Ravenclaw girl that gives you the quest for the Daedalian keys.
Oh, is that?
No, she's the with the smelly board game thing.
Oh, the Gobstones.
Gobstones.
Yep.
That's her.
Gotcha.
And then, so there's her. There's the shitty dude that teaches you how to ride a broom, who I'm giving too much crap for. He's fine. He's just a little snivelly. And then there's, honestly, this person has my respect as a Ravenclaw. There is a portrait that you can talk to in the library that is upset because his other frame, which is in the 3 broomsticks, has been removed and stolen by bandits.
Oh, shit.
And he says one of the students paid them to do it. And he is a ridiculous person to talk to. He is a 18th century, 17th century fop for sure. Like, that is his character. So
fop?
A fop. A dandy. Someone who is so fancy that they're silly. Did you watch The Witcher? You know Dandelion?
Yeah, go on.
Dandelion is very foppish. So yeah, you go meet this Ravenclaw in the Three Broomsticks, and she's like, yeah, he's a shithead. Of course I got bandits to steal it. He was spying on students and telling the headmaster all the shit they were talking about, the Three Broomsticks.
Oh, so he's a bitch.
He's a snitch, and he also would just make stuff up if he didn't have anything interesting, because he liked to be of use. So he would just make up stories and tell the headmaster. So you can resolve the quest by either going and returning his frame to the Three Broomsticks. You can just leave him there for the bandits, or you can set him up in the Hog's Head, which is a very seedy bar, and he is very anti that idea and hates it. And all the seedy wizards just make fun of him and start throwing shit at his painting.
That's
so
incredible.
You get to
I will absolutely
addicted
be doing
him.
that. Like putting in the Hog's Head.
So that's my favorite Ravenclaw side quest.
Oh, so it's a Ravenclaw that
did
puts
it,
it up.
I mean, truly a clever idea. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Smart. Yeah, she figured out he was fine.
so one of my favorite characters, because of just how much this opens the possibility of something else we can experience outside of Hogwarts Legacy later on, is the Gryffindor, Obani. Is that her name?
Oh,
Nancy Onai?
Onai.
Not Onai. That's right. Why did I say Obani? Obani must be a name, something else that I know. But Onai is actually from the African wizarding school.
Which is the largest.
Yeah, which is the
wizarding
largest
school.
one.
The way that she was talking about it, if you dig into a little bit of her like backstory stuff, it seems super cool. Like they can just cast magic without wands, straight up, like without any like issue whatsoever.
They're a lot more animagi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a really cool thing, and just the level of detail that they go into this bit makes me hope that they make another one that
Follows a different school.
that you can go to a
Hogwarts
different
Legacy,
school.
semester abroad, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine if you do one that's the Russian school from the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
Or Flourish School. I can't remember.
France.
It's
Beauxbaton.
Vermont. Or the Ilvermorny. Ilvermorny?
Yeah, Ilvermorny.
That's the American one,
That's
right?
the American one.
Like,
Visit other magical schools?
yeah, just imagine the possibilities. Like and those haven't been done before, so you can really go all out with that and create a whole nother world that would be just as good as Harry Potter's.
Yeah, I would love to see.
I would love to do that.
Something I wanted to mention real briefly is every house also gets a house-specific quest that they do in the main story. It's pretty early on. It's right before you go into Richard Jackdaw's tomb. It's how you meet up with Richard Jackdaw initially.
Scrope.
Scrope? Is that...
Scrope. You deal with Scrope, the house elf.
Interesting.
So, from my understanding, that quest line is mostly just like, it's sneaking around. You gotta go into a special room underneath the castle, sneak around, steal some documents or something like that.
No.
No, okay.
Basically, you're trying to find this ring for... Scrope is actually the headmaster's house elf.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Didn't point this out. The headmaster, who is played by Simon Pegg, which is fantastic, but he's a fucking piece of work.
His name is Phineas Black.
Yep, Phineas
He was from the books. He was mentioned in the books. He actually helps Dumbledore in the books quite a bit. In the books, he's nicer than he is in the game. But he is pureblood Slytherin, very much arrogant dickhead.
Yeah,
essentially.
Kind of person who shuts down Quidditch for the season because of pure blood got slightly hurt.
He took the position because of the status, not because he wanted to be a teacher.
And it shows. It does show. So you're following the.
So yeah, you get sent on a mission to try and find a ring that belonged to his wife, I believe, his late wife.
Oh. Interesting.
And I don't remember where it takes you, honestly.
I know it's like a secret room under the lake or something like that.
Yes, that's right. It's to some grotto, and it leads to a small dungeon, actually. So You go through the dungeon looking for that ring just to not find it.
Ravenclaw has to do some puzzles in the owlery. We put some statues together and get something sorted out with a bunch of statues, and then you meet Richard Jackdaw.
I keep meaning to go to the owlery, but I haven't been there yet. That's one of the few places on the actual Hogwarts grounds I haven't been yet.
It's just far enough away to feel oh, that's right, that's part of the school.
Yeah, I fly by it all the time whenever I'm really busy doing something, and I'm like, oh, that's right, I need to go to the owlery, but I just have not been yet. I need to go.
Meanwhile, in Hufflepuff,
how the fuck do you go to Azkaban, you piece of shit?
What? Yeah. So one of the one of the paintings in the Hufflepuff common room is one of the old Diggories, who was a minister of magic. He says that his granddaughter is an Auror who's looking into someone's death a while ago. He says that because of some of the pages that you're actively hunting down for this book connect to this ongoing investigation. So you go and meet up with this old Auror who's like, oh yeah, there's someone in Azkaban who's fucking crazy, who is actually the only connecting piece. It's the woman who Jackdaw was trying to go out into the woods with, or into the Forbidden Forest with, but due to, he basically created a puzzle for her, she couldn't solve the puzzle, and then Jackdaw wound up dead. So everyone was convinced that she killed Jackdaw. So she got sent to Azkaban for that. And you have to go and talk to her in Azkaban, and she has lost it. You're not missing anything too crazy in Azkaban, I will say. It is a straight hallway, you're not missing much, but there are Dementors that fly around. There's people who yell at you from the different cells. Then you get to the end, talk to her a little bit. She gives you she talks some riddles, so you get a riddle from her, you're like, oh, okay, I know where to go, and you inevitably go to Jackdaw's tomb. But she does proceed to stab and nearly mortally wound the woman that you were talking, the Auror woman who you were talking to. So she barely gets you back in time before she basically dips out and has to go to St. Mungo's. Huh. That's the Hufflepuff quest.
So, do the other houses meet Richard Jackdaw?
Yes, they all converge at. They basically run into Jackdaw afterwards.
Is it the swamp? Or not the swamp, but
I think everyone meets him differently, but then we all meet back up with him at
in the
oh, okay, because I met him in a cave.
Yeah, I met him after I hunted down some additional pages or something like that. It took me somewhere else entirely.
Do we want to talk about the main quests that you're going through for this story?
I think we can touch on it briefly. I won't be able to speak on too much detail because I feel like most of the story doesn't really happen.
Maybe we can go up to the map room. I think.
Yeah, I can. I'll give a basic. There we go.
That's right.
So,
spoiler sound.
The main thrust of this story is that you are a character who has access to a kind of magic that other people don't have access to. It's called ancient magic. It is something that has not been seen for a few centuries. It's why your character gets pushed into Hogwarts at a 5th year instead of as a 1st year. And it's also a major mechanic in the game. It's a kind of a combo,
It's an ultimate
attack that you can use. So basically, you are with this Professor Fick, who is your mentor, and also the Transfiguration?
I believe...
Charms.
No, because Charms is
someone
someone else.
Charms.
I'm pretty sure he's Charms.
Charms is the Indian guy, right?
Yes. I'm trying to think... I don't know what he teaches. He might also do Defense Against the Dark Arts. It might be a different...
No, because that's the old lady teacher.
I know Hecate is Defense Against the Dark Arts.
I thought it was Transfiguration, but I could be wrong.
I thought Weasley teaches Transfiguration. That's why she teaches you the Transfiguration spells.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I think her office is the Transfiguration classroom. What is it?
Anyway,
did you spoil yourself?
We're getting.
You fool.
Sorry, that was not the main thrust of my point. You're working with Professor Fig, who is one of your professors.
Magical theory.
Interesting. Okay. And you go explore this ruin after you're attacked by a dragon, and you discover a little bit of information about ancient magic that you didn't have before. So you and Fig go off on this quest to try to discover more about it and also learn more about the Goblin Rebellion and poachers and other dark wizards in the area around Hogwarts. As you go through this, you discover an ancient group of wizards that also had access to ancient magic, and as you go throughout the story, you learn more about it and more about them and why they have hidden ancient magic away from the world. And as you learn more and find out more about ancient magic, you're also learning more and finding out more about the Goblin Rebellion and their motivations and what they are attempting to do. And all of that intertwines throughout the game.
And the reason that it seems that you're mixed up in all of this is because for some reason the Goblin Rebellion's leader Ranrock specifically needs and is trying to hunt down you because he needs the ancient magic or the stuff that you found in the vault in Green Gods at the very beginning of the first mission of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
which is super interesting plotline. I actually didn't find it super compelling initially, but I found myself more so just wanting to go out and explore the world rather than like focus on any specific quest for the main quest line. I feel like a lot of the Ranrock specific stuff, he's just like super aggressive and that's it.
Ranrock is...
He's like, I am a bad guy.
Yeah, Ranrock is a caricature of a villain. He is super exaggerated, not super detailed.
His backstory for why like he's a villain is actually like really like bland as well, honestly. Like the reason he's doing this like it's not a great reason.
Yeah. But the ancient magic side with the keepers is a lot more nuanced and a lot more interesting. And a lot of that comes towards the end of the story. So I'm not going to go too much into it right now.
But from what I've seen, it leads to a lot of very cool like dungeons and stuff, basically, which makes very good use of magic and perspective and a lot of super fun puzzles. Which I really appreciated. I thought it was super fun.
One of the coolest things I found in one of those dungeons so far is the ability to go look through an archway and see the room differently, and then depending on which side of the arch you're looking at determines what you see in that room. Like, so there can be a
gateway to a slightly adjusted version.
Yeah, there can be like 3 different variations of the same room. It just depends on which room you start in, which side of the arch you go through. It's wild. It's really good. They do a very, very good job of it. And they do a very good job in the dungeons of utilizing the spells really well as well. Like, you need to use Accio a lot because you're standing on floating platforms that need to be pulled to the other side of the room. You need Depulso a lot to break down stone walls and spin switches to activate levers and stuff like that. And just the puzzles in general in this game, they're really good about using almost all the spells in most of the puzzles.
Let's talk about those puzzles a little bit because they're not just in the dungeons. There's a lot of puzzles just all around the world, throughout Hogwarts, out in the wilds of Scotland, which is the open world part of this game.
There's too much. It feels like there's so much.
There's a mechanic. So you, with the broom flying class later on, can eventually unlock a broom and use that as a form of traversal. If you get on the broom, fly up, and use Revelio, you are suddenly able to see every single point of interest. And there's a lot of points of interest. You can't throw a stone without hitting a point of interest.
You can't throw a stone without hitting a Merlin trial.
I will say the area around Hogwarts is a lot more densely populated than the southern parts of
areas. Okay.
I mean, the south is still pretty populated, but it's not like, oh, here's a Merlin trial, 2 steps. Oh, here's another one, 2 steps. Oh, here's another one.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more spaced out. But yeah, that early area, and especially like the Forbidden Forest, is very packed.
I think that's fantastic because you're going to be, since Hogwarts is such a main point of interest, you're going to be coming in and out of the different areas all the time. So you're always going to be able to like, oh, hey, there's this. I can stop and do that real fast, fly off and do something else.
I'm not complaining about it, to be clear.
Yeah.
I'm just
saying
that's the way it is.
With all the stuff that's in the world, it all leads to different kind of unlocks that you get as well. There's a whole challenge system in the game, which as you complete different tasks, whether it be picking up the field guide pages that are scattered throughout the world, which are little lore bits, or completing these Merlin trials, which are just very mini, like, they're just mini games pretty much. Mm-hmm. Some are platforming based, some are like find and use the right spell, some are like, hunt down the moths and bring them back using the Lumos spell. It can range, right? But if you do a ton of those, it increases your storage capacity for different gear items, so you can carry more on you without having to make a stop by and selling them all off. Mm-hmm. You can go through and find traces of ancient magic, which gives you more like bars or blocks of energy that you can use to cast the ancient magic attacks. And that just expands, like, for basically every single like item that you can do in the game, there's something you can unlock from doing a bunch of them.
Including some of the coolest cosmetic items are unlocked through those trees.
Very true.
It's a very cool system.
A lot of the challenges you can unlock, I think the final unlock is a trait to help against certain enemies. So, for instance, you'll end up defeating a certain amount of goblins or a certain amount of trolls, and you'll eventually get to a point where you unlock the next thing for that, and you can get these the traits that you can apply to your armor to be able to withstand more damage from a troll or stuff like that.
Yeah, and then it's just, I mean, the open world is also really beautifully done. It is expansive. I've gotten a chance to go and visit Scotland like a year ago, and got a chance to go and take a tour through the Highlands. They did a pretty one-to-one on like what the terrain looks like there. The mountains are the same kind of like stony rock and grass, and it looks and feels like it's nestled in Scotland, which is really nice to see. And there's just so many things that you can do.
And they kind of built 2 or 3 maps at once, because at certain points throughout the story, the seasons change and the actual map changes. So, like, in winter, everything is covered in snow, which there are things that are white, there are things that just have snow on the top. I mean, it's not a full map redesign. It's just like a reskin. But it's not...
For how sizable the world is. Not lazy in the slightest.
I loved the winter. I wish there was an option to, like, change it to whatever your favorite season was.
Yeah, especially in the post-game.
Especially in the post-game. But it was... I thought it was a great addition and a great way to make it feel like you're living through a semester at Hogwarts. Also, a great reason to actually wear one of the scarves.
Yes. Was there anything else that we really wanted to touch on with Hogwarts Legacy here today?
I mean, there's so much more, but I would love to just go beat by beat through this whole game.
Right now,
just start watching a playthrough, and we can just commentate over.
Yeah, I can just move the Xbox through and start playing.
What was the path that we had originally? We had magic leads into which covers combat, leads to
school, like classes, which leads to requirement,
which leads to exploration.
We didn't really talk much about beasts.
Okay, yeah.
We didn't talk much about beast or plants. Well, I guess we talked about
plant. There's not really too much to talk about. I guess no, we did talk about beasts with the vivarium stuff, just not like going out into the world and catching them. Like that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
The dungeons are super cool. The ones that are assigned to the main story.
A lot of the side dungeons are really neat too. There are sections where specifically related to the main story where there are some additions to the canon. Mm-hmm. Including dungeons and areas that are additions to the canon. Like, for example, there's a place called the Map Room, where once you get to a certain point in the story, you meet with these people, these keepers, who have been hiding the ancient magic. And anything associated with the keepers has a very distinctive architecture with it. But it is very much something I could imagine seeing in one of the movies or reading about in one of the books. It felt very in line with the world while still being a new addition to it.
Fully agreed. I think the map room itself is stunning. We won't talk too much about it, but there's a nice reveal with the map room, which is pretty unsurprising with the name, but it's super cool to see.
There's a couple of reveals with the map room, but yes.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just excited. I'm going to keep playing the game once we wrap up here today. I mean, even if it's just jumping on a broom and flying around for a while. It's so much fun just to... have y'all, like, taken any time to, like, just zip around the castle?
I've spent a lot of time just flying around.
Yeah.
I have found the most difficult obstacles course to fly around the castle, and I tried doing one lap and I kept hitting shit. So I was like, "Oh, this will be complicated," and I was right.
I like that they didn't block off the map.
Yeah.
Like you can anywhere you can walk to on the map that's not inside, you can fly your broom around.
Yes. With the one exception being Hogsmeade, which is fine. I understand.
You can't fly into Hogsmeade. You also there are like
no fly zones.
No fly zones.
Yeah, there are no fly zones for like some of the cities and stuff like that, or some of the small towns as well.
I think it's just Hogsmeade that
is it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's only
there might be one or two like
there are certain areas like if you try to go too high up. Like over the mountains, it will block you. Or like,
I wish you could go up the mountain. There's a couple points where it's just like, oh, there's an island here on my map that I just can't go to, basically, because it's the top of a mountain. And it's like, I want to fly up there and look around, but it's fine. It's a tiny nitpick all things considered. Yeah,
you can't just have the full world.
Yeah,
as much fun as that would be.
I'm very happy with it. I very much enjoyed my experience playing Hogwarts Legacy so far. So I think if do we want to do our normal ratings?
Yeah. What are you thinking?
Well, hang on.
Oh yeah.
We haven't talked much about it. Does anyone have like any gripes at all about this game? Like, even small nitpicky stuff. Like, because by all means, it's not a perfect game. Like, no game's going to be perfect or anything. The only thing I can think of off the top of my head is like I would like a quality of life change for like. Every time that you pick up that you equip a new piece of gear, you don't have to go in and change the skin of it again to look. You could set a specific look.
Yeah, there's a couple little quality of life things. You know, my robe clipping through me is a little discomforting at sometimes. I had one point where my guy was talking and his wand was stuck through his hand.
There's a couple like weird interaction with a scarf and clipping through other parts of your outfit. I did notice I came across a glitch that won't let me finish a quest because you're supposed to unlock a cage and free some beasts, but I encountered the cage already before I got the quest, unlocked it, and when I went back to free the beast, the cage was already unlocked and I couldn't complete the quest.
Also, PlayStation has an entire exclusive quest line that Xbox doesn't have.
That I am a little annoyed about, but purely because normally in the game, when you Revelio, it shows you points of interest and things that you can interact with.
Yeah.
With this specific location, you Revelio and it freaking glows, but there's nothing you can do to interact with it.
I'm not buying it on PlayStation just because you throw something flashy in my face.
Do you want me to tell you what the quest is?
Yeah.
So basically, you run into a house elf outside of an abandoned building.
Mm-hmm.
She's cleaning up and lets you know that the house is for sale if you want to buy it. You can get it real cheap. The last tenant's left a mess. So you go and talk to the owner. She sells it to you, and the house elf helps you set up a shop. As you're getting things ready and going into the basement to grab something to help get things started, you get sucked into the basement, and you go through this whole like horror series of events where like you'll be going down a hallway, and then if you turn around, it's a different place than you're just running from, and weird perspective things. And basically, there is very similar to Peeves, a poltergeist that is haunting the basement of this shop, and you go through this whole spectacular quest to catch up to the poltergeist and play with him. And basically you make a deal with this poltergeist to only go wild in the shop after 10 o'clock when all the customers are and then it becomes a place where you can go talk to this house elf that runs your store and sell items to her for more money than you get if you sell it somewhere else.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's
honestly,
super cool.
It was one of my favorite quests in the game, and I didn't realize it was PlayStation exclusive until a while after.
That is a little frustrating.
That's...
Yeah, honestly, it is a little too good to be.
Fuck you, Sony.
Yeah. But overall gripes, not particularly. It mostly just boils down to like little nitpicks here and there, like visual glitches or spells not hitting when I feel like they should hit. I think the movement inside, like when you're in the water, is a little clunky. It could be better, but you're not. It's not a swimming game, right? Like.
Maybe some 2 or 3 times total.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think overall, and my rating will be colored by, for reference, I read these books starting in like elementary school, and then watched the movies as they were coming out. This property has been a pretty big part of my childhood, so there's a lot of nostalgia here, so keep that in mind.
And that goes for, I think, everyone here. I'm speaking for myself when I say it. Yeah, I've also read these books at a young age. I didn't watch the movies till a little bit later, but they've always kind of been intrinsic to, you know, who I was and how I was growing up.
I want to say 9 out of 10.
You want to put
Is
it
that
at
crazy?
9 out of 10? I don't think it's crazy.
I could see 8.5 or 8 too, but I'm thinking 9.
I'm sitting at an 8, so I don't blame you for putting it up at 9. You know, it's super, super good. It doesn't blow my mind, but I'm very happy to exist in this world, and I'm very happy with the time that I've put into it.
I am going to lower it down to an 8.5.
Okay.
Because the game is great, the environment is great, the story is not great. It is a good story. It is not a great story.
Yeah, so far I haven't really been playing much for the story. I've been playing it for the world and the specifically the architecture, you know, running through the different corridors of Hogwarts, you know, being able to throw magic around, that kind of thing. So I'm comfortable with my 8 rating.
I think I'm sitting at around a 8.59 as well. I don't like the stealth sequences. I played other stealth games and they do it much better. So, and I feel like the stealth is a little, maybe not bad's the word, but it could definitely use some work.
Clunky is the word.
Yeah, clunky. Other than that, the only other minor gripe I had was about the quality of life changes and everything. This game, for me, literally jumps up an entire point once you include Quidditch. If you can figure out a way to include Quidditch, and it's good, it becomes a 9.5, easy. I've also grown up with this franchise, so I've been there for all of it, and I think this is the best experience I've had going from a book or movie to a video game.
Oh yeah, it's
ever.
a great adaptation of the source material, I think.
Oh yes.
It's fantastic in like a gaming sense.
I'm trying to think of anything off the top of my head, but I honestly don't think.
This is not a video game adaptation, but if I had to compare like the level of fidelity to the source material, I'm looking at something like maybe The Last of Us TV show that's coming out right now.
Okay.
That has a lot of just straight shot for shot remakes of the video game stuff. Like that's the only thing that I can think of, and maybe just because I've watched it recently, that has the same level of fidelity that
this game gives me. This game gives me a lot of good reminders of like some of my favorite fantasy games, like the Lord of the Rings games, the Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War. Like, I didn't think how actual close they were to this game until literally you were playing a little bit, showing us before we came in here to record the podcast, Walker. But it paused the combat you were in just to show this enemy that showed up, and he's like taunting you and everything. I'm like, holy shit, they did that in Shadow of War. So like, and then it all clicked, and I'm like, holy shit, this is actually a lot like Shadow of War in how the exploration and the combat goes. So I really do love those types of games. So this game's just an easy 8.59 for me. I think I'm leaning more towards 9 just because of how well I really enjoy the world. I haven't done the story myself all the way yet.
stellar ratings from us. This puts it up there with like Tunic almost.
Yeah, it's a couple of gripes, but they're purely with like the story not being really what I wanted it to be. And then, like, using the killing curses doesn't really mean anything in game. But, yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
It'll be a contender for Game of the Year for sure. I reckon it'll probably be in each of our top 10s. Obviously, can't promise any higher than that, but I feel like very comfortably it'll be at least in our top 10s. So
yeah, probably.
There would have to be a lot of really great games that come out this year.
Yeah.
For this not to make my top 10, which, looking at the lineup for the rest of this year, is possible. We got Starfield, Legend of Zelda, Jedi Fallen Order.
I suggest you try that Atomic Heart game. I mean, it's on Game Pass.
I'm definitely planning on it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'll be playing Wulong because Another Souls game. This time we're going Chinese. No way. All right.
Do you want me to read the trivia questions?
No.
I figured, get
Give you a slight advantage on that one.
slight advantage since you wrote them. Just a slight.
Just a tinge.
All right. Well, in the fact that we've been doing this a year and this is our 10th podcast, I figured instead of doing a themed trivia about similar to the game that we've been playing, so it's not going to be about magic or anything like that. Instead, we're going to do a full-on synopsis of the entirety of what we've gone over. So every single game that we've played and discussed on the Joystick Frequency is up for there will be a question about.
What
We're going down together.
What about
Let's go,
the
baby.
games that only one or two of us played?
I tried to make the question as best as possible for both of y'all to get.
So no Elden Ring questions?
No, there's an Elden Ring question.
Okay.
That's
just
number
feels
2.
like giving a point to Walker, but whatever.
Huh?
That feels like just giving a free point to Walker, but sure.
Not if I put it in the early game.
It's true. You played the early game.
I have played the early game.
See?
What is Caleb's nickname?
What's
Florida.
what's a Caleb?
What's a Caleb?
South Beach, Florida.
Alright, so...
I've blocked that game out of my mind so much.
So, how do you all want to do this one, answer-wise, since y'all are both here? Like, I forgot to order the quiz bowl buzzer.
Oh yeah, we don't have any buzz in button.
I mean, we can just type our answers on our phone.
First person to
Or
grab.
write them down or something. I don't know. Are we trying to do what we did last time where we both have answers and just see if we're both right? Or are we trying to do a timer?
That's up to y'all. I don't care.
First person to grab the Pikachu gets to answer.
We're going to hit that microphone if you put that.
Several times.
First person to clap. That's a bad idea, too.
Oh, shit.
Clap sync.
We'll just do it like we normally do. We'll write down our answers, and we can read them off afterwards. Or we can do question, read off answer, question, read off answer.
All right, well then, do y'all want them in order? Or y'all want me to go some,
You're in charge, dude.
Okay, we'll just go in order. So the first one's going to be about Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Ah, that's an easy one. Unless
Yeah.
it's how many shinies does everyone have altogether. Fuck.
What is the species and level of the highest level mon that can be encountered in the game?
Oh, fuck, that's right. Oh, wait a minute. Are you including all the DLC stuff as well?
No.
Like the stuff that came out in the Daybreak update?
No.
Oh, well, that's different then.
I didn't play Daybreak.
So it's not the level 100 Bidoof challenge. Okay.
I've got something here. I don't know if this is right, but I have an answer written down.
Fuck, it's one of two. I'm just fuck it.
I wrote down this question the month that we played this game.
Okay.
I've been preparing for this.
The species, is it Arceus?
I went with Arceus at level 100.
I put level 80.
That is both of those are incorrect.
Is it fucking Giratina at levels 80?
No, it's Garchomp at level 85.
What?
You can find a level 85 Garchomp in the snowy place.
What level is the Arceus that you fight at the end of the game?
Well,
1 second. I'm gonna fact check the Quiz Bowl Master here.
Arceus is level 80.
He's level 80. Okay.
I had the right level and the right Pokemon. I just didn't know there was
Okay. Sure. You
Alright,
know
so
what?
no points for question 1.
No points for question 1. Bummer, dude.
Question 2 is about Elden Ring.
Hey, let's go. I'll get a point on the board.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Let's see a minute about the water, bro.
What is the name of the boss that is fought at the end of Castle Morn in the Weeping Peninsula?
Oh, fuck. He kicked my ass.
You started typing, Brady, which impresses me.
Oh, it was not a serious answer.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so where was the boss? At which place?
The end of Castle Morn in the Weeping Peninsula.
What? Weirdly, I know what that is, and I remember fighting it.
Yeah. See, I told you they're not... Like, if one of you played the game, I'm going to try and make it as best as possible for you to be able to guess it.
Okay, I've got my answer.
All right.
Brady, I want you to go first.
My guess is some bullshit Souls-like enemy.
It's the misbegotten something or other. He gives you the Game of Thrones sword.
It is the Leonin Misbegotten.
Leonin Misbegotten.
Which Walker will get a point for that because he attempted.
Look,
he gives you the Game of Thrones sword.
it was either that or the guy with the red energy. That was
I hate you.
What?
You said you remembered where it was.
I remember a place called the Weeping Peninsula. That doesn't mean I remember anything about
Jesus Christ. All right, the next one's going to be about Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Oh, shit.
it. Okay.
Which of these is not an actual class? Stabomancer, Berserker, Spore Warden, Clawbringer, Spellborn.
Is not?
Is not.
Got my answer.
I have my answer. I'm also typing a backup because I'm not 100% sure, but I know that it's one of these two.
Okay, I'm going with the Spellborn is the fake.
I also put Spellborn as the fake, with Clawbringer as my second choice.
Both of you are correct. It is Spellborn. That is a combination of Spellshot and Graveborn.
Gotcha. Okay.
Graveborn was my class.
Berserker was mine.
What was my backup? I think my backup was Clawbringer because I had the little dragon flying around with me.
Oh, I think I went Spore Warden for my second. Interesting combo. Anyway, continue.
All right, number 4 is going to be about Tunic.
How
many manual pages must be collected for the true ending of the game?
The physical edition came out the other day, and I bought it. It's got a manual in it. I'm very excited.
Damn it!
Are we?
That was my birthday gift for you.
Oh,
I was
really?
going to get the manual.
Oh.
Is this how many pages are in the handbook, or how many do we collect?
How many do we collect?
How many manual pages must be collected for the true ending of the game?
Oh God! I'm gonna do something weird because I think I have an idea.
I'm doing something similar. Okay.
Both y'all good?
Yeah.
I'm ready. I think it's 42 you collect?
I think it's 36 that you need to collect to finish the Golden Path.
Both of y'all are incorrect. It is 28.
28, okay.
There are 56 total pages. You get 2 every single time you collect a page because it's front and back.
Mm-hmm.
So
and then the
divide by
cover
2.
and back cover?
Yeah.
Do you need all of them?
You do need
For
all
the
of
best?
them.
Oh, you do need, because it's not for the Golden Path. It's for the best.
The Golden Path is what gets you the very last one. The one that has the cover.
So that's no points for y'all. It is still 2-1 in favor of Walker.
Probably gonna play that game again this year. I like that game a lot.
Next is going to be about Power Wash Simulator.
Oh, yeah.
There are
I
4.
just drowned myself. I'm sorry. Suiting, I guess.
Y'all are gonna hate me after this questionnaire. I almost guarantee it because this one's a little brutal. There are 4 levels that take place at the theme park. Name them in order. I will give a point to whoever is the closest.
Name them in order.
Yes.
You fucking cunt. 4 that take place at the theme park.
Oh, what if I don't remember the name
I
of it?
don't
but
remember
I can describe it.
Fucking, yeah, I also can describe it.
With the slide?
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit.
That's why I said I would take closest. Specifically that one.
Fucking.
Because it's a stupid British name.
What is the 4th one?
The fucking.
I'm forgetting something.
Oh, it's stupid.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure there's like some like fucking. Oh,
I'm missing one. Oh, it escaped me. Okay, I guess I'm turning 3 on this 4-parter.
All right, well, let's hear your 3 then.
My 3 are the merry-go-round, the whirly-gig, or whatever the fuck the giant slide is, and then the fortune teller's cart is the last one that you do.
All right.
Carousel, slide tower, Ferris wheel, tarot card fortune teller place.
Piss ass.
Yep. So it's Carousel, Helter Skelter.
Helter Skelter. I knew it was some fucking weird ass name. I almost said Hodmedod and then T-Bone.
Ferris wheel, and then Fortune Teller's wagon. And with that, Brady will tie it up.
Oh, God.
Thank God. This is the closest I've been.
Ferris wheel. How did I forget the Ferris wheel? It was such a pain in the ass.
I couldn't remember the fortune teller's wagon is what I was stuck on.
Going into question number 6, we're talking about Stray.
Ooh.
How many cats were used to make the protagonist cat in the game?
How many cats were used? Oh.
See how I made this one even accessible to you?
I can guess just as well as he can.
I think it's this. Okay.
I'm making a guess not based on information, but based on what I think would be thematic. And I'm going to say 9. Because cats have 9
I think it was
lives.
4 different cat voices were used or something like that. What's the actual answer?
The actual answer is 3. Oscar was is a Sphinx cat, was used for movement. Lala, the grayish cat, was the voice actor. And Murtog, an orange cat, was the appearance of that the cat was based on.
Interesting.
So no one will get a point for that one. What?
Continue.
you trying to fight me for that?
No, I'm not.
But I mean, Price is Right rules. You both went over.
Yeah.
Next one's going to be about Sniper Elite 5. Which of the following is not a weapon available in a custom class in this game?
Oh, shit.
The Well Rod Mark 1, the Carabiner 98K, the MP40, the Luch Pistol 34, or the Gewehr 43. Gewehr 43.
The Carabiner?
The Luch pistol?
Correct answer is the Luch Pistol 34.
Good shit.
Guess. Total guess.
Carabiner is just the extended name for the Car 98.
Gotcha.
Which is the best weapon. Sorry, you probably didn't hear me. The best weapon.
Is this turned into an ASMR podcast?
Possibly. Brady takes the lead going into question number 8 about Cult of the Lamb.
Okay.
Why didn't I write the... I didn't write the fucking answer to this one.
Oh, well. Hopefully
Ask
we know
it
it.
and we'll see.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm pretty sure y'all will both get it. What is the name of the deity who resurrects your character?
Dude,
His name is David.
it's like He Who Remains or like the Great Old He or something like that. He Who Remains, that's from Marvel, but we'll go with that.
I put the chained one.
Let's see. I'll look it up real fast.
None of those rang a bell. You're close.
What is it?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
I didn't type this one out. I was...
The One Who Waits Below. Fuck.
So, no points for that one.
That's fine. That's fine.
Going into 12 minutes. Who are the 3 voice actors of the game?
Well, I can get one.
I can get one. We didn't play this one. Only you played this one.
Yeah, I know, but I said who the voice actors were in the...
Yeah, but I wasn't paying attention.
You should probably pay attention when I'm talking on the podcast, bud.
Sorry, what's that?
Huh?
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, same. I only listen to a Walker's soothing voice. Yes. There it is.
Okay, I've got my answer.
I'm guessing my last one. Okay, I got mine. Do you want
Let's
me
go
to
for the
read
one that
first?
we both know. Willem Dafoe.
I also put Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead with your answers now.
James McAvoy
Okay.
and Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, fuck, it was James McAvoy, wasn't it? I put Willem Dafoe, Daisy Ridley, and Joey McDougal.
So together, y'all did get all 3 of them.
It's Daisy Ridley, and fucking James McAvoy.
So I will give both of y'all a point.
Let's go.
So Brady's still ahead by 1. It's 4-3 going into question number 10 about Unsighted.
Ooh, I might be able to get this one.
I don't even remember that.
This was the one that I played.
Okay.
Yeah, when I played 12 minutes, he played Unsighted.
Which one was that for me?
Saints Row. We'll get to that after.
Okay, cool. That's another game I played this month. Saints Row.
What item increases the clock above the player or NPC's head?
Increases the clock?
Yeah.
Got it.
Stopwatch.
Anima dust.
It's meteor dust.
Fuck! Fuck! Anima is the life essence and whatever.
Going into question number 11 about Saints Row. What is the name of the casino in South Santo Eliso? And I have a hint for this one.
You're wrong. There are like 20 casinos in southern Santo Eliso. There's a whole fucking strip.
I went and looked on the map, and there is specifically one that is an icon on the map, complete, like named and everything.
Okay, so I have to name a specific casino.
Yes,
Okay.
the casino.
a casino. I just played this game this week.
So
there are several casinos.
So the hint is SpongeBob. That should probably help you. Take the hint. Take the hint and put an actual answer. You can have your funny answer, but put an actual answer, because this hint's good enough that you could guess it.
I know I got one of the words in the casino right. I don't know if I got the second one right.
Okay.
You first.
My serious answer is the chum bucket.
Oh, god damn it. That's your serious answer?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Bikini Atoll?
That's correct. It's the Bikini Atoll Casino.
It's not Slug My Balls, dude.
I fucking hate you. And if you're able to name the casino, I was right.
The Bikini Atoll. Okay.
Honestly, the SpongeBob clue is how I got it.
So that's 6 to... Is it 5 to 3 or 6 to 4?
6 to 4.
Let's do 6 to 4. That makes it sound better.
All right, 6 to 4 in
You are
favor
too
of
ahead.
Brady.
Oh, well, yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
6 to 4 in favor of Brady. Next one's going to be about Slime Rancher 2.
Hey, maybe.
What is the stock market ran on?
Oh, okay.
I don't know if this is what they're called, but I think this is correct.
All right, then let's hear it from you first.
The little slime gems that you pick up from the slime?
Yeah, what are they called?
Slime gems.
They're ports.
That's the point for Walker.
They're not officially called slime. Okay.
Little slime poops. They're ports.
6 to 5 Brady. The next one's going to be about Gotham Knights.
Okay.
Oh god, I hated that game. Okay.
Which of the following villains does not appear in Gotham Knights? Professor Pig, Mr. Freeze, Clayface, Hush, the Penguin.
Okay. I have a guess on this one, and I'll tell you what it's based on. Do you have your answer down?
No. 1 second. I'm wrong, but yes, I have my answer down.
My not serious answer is Clayfish, because there's not a Batman villain named Clayfish, and that is what you said.
Oh, I thought I heard Clayface.
He went Clayfish
okay.
and moved on. But I think for my real guess, I think it's Hush. It seems like most of the other villains are combat-based villains or could like have a fight. Hush is one of those ones that's more like a psychological kind of villain.
So my answer, and I will also explain this, is the Penguin, because I remember fighting all of the other ones except the Pig one. But I also remember he was the serial killer in one of the Batman Arkham City ones, so I figured they wouldn't use such an obscure character twice. So Penguin, with the pig guy being my backup.
The answer is Hush.
Oh!
Okay.
Let's go!
I could have sworn I'm thinking of Batman Arkham. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is a great mission.
It's a fantastic mission, fantastic game.
Yeah.
But it's
a
psychological.
much better game than Gotham Knights.
Yeah. Notice how the game you were playing at the same time it was Gotham Knights is the one that you fight him in. Yeah. It's almost like I planned that almost so that Walker would have a chance.
Damn it.
See, I think about these things, guys. Y'all don't give me credit, but I think about these things.
All right.
It's tied up 6-6, going into number 14, Deathloop.
Oh, fuck.
Colt and Juliana remember info between loops, but there's one other character that does so as well. Who are they?
One other character that remembers between the loops.
Will you shake the mouse real quick on the thing? Here you go. Summon your inner cat. There you go.
Let's see.
That way it's easier next time.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm getting this right. I think I'm describing an actual character, but I definitely don't have a name, and I don't know if it's the right one.
Mine is literally a shotgun blast. I literally wrote one of the luminaries.
Luminaries.
Is that not what they're called?
Visionaries.
Fuck!
I put that boss that does all the parties and has the wolf head mask thing.
Okay. So I wasn't sure if y'all would need the hint or not, just because I did go into him in the podcast version of it. So I will give y'all a chance again. This isn't a visionary, but it is a part of one. And if y'all can actually name the actual visionary of it, I could give you half credit.
I put down a computer of some kind. I really do not know. I cannot recall. I'm so sorry.
Older iteration of Colton?
You're actually right there.
It is like a computer. Is it like an AI, I'm assuming? Or like...
It's the AI that was made from half of one of the Visionaries' brains. 2-bit.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, yeah. That was cool.
I don't want to take the point for that. That feels like I was too much of a stretch. I will...
If you want to give him the point, I would not object to it. But you're the judge.
If there's one more question.
Let's go into it with the tie. Let's go into it.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Question 15. It's about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Okay.
What type occurs the most in the new gen Pokemon? So, specifically, new gen, the only Mons that were introduced in this generation.
Does this include Paradox and Forms?
Yes. It does not count, alterations. So, for instance, Gimmighoul... Gimmighoul?
Gimmighoul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gimmighoul, his treasure chest form and his small coin form only count as one.
Are we counting the...
Unless they have a different typing whenever
variants? Okay. We are including regional variants.
Yes.
Okay. It's one of two. I'm stuck between two.
I think I have it, but I will offer an explanation of why I think I have it.
Okay.
Okay. I got one, and I've got a backup.
My number one, I think, is Steel, because of all the Paradox forms.
I went with
that are
Fairy
Steel type.
as my number one, but Steel was my number two.
No.
No, it's not Fairy or Steel.
Normal?
No, and we're in a tie, so no, so I think...
I think he gets it because he got the computer question.
No, I think y'all go...
Let's just tie.
Okay, I'm fine with the tie. Or do we want to guess a second time?
Yeah, I was going to say...
just go until... Okay.
Wait, can I get a second guess?
Yeah. I already said Steel.
He said Fairy.
Okay, yeah. Okay, both of y'all get a second guess that isn't one of the types that were already said, I think.
Okay. So one more guess.
Yeah, so each of y'all one more guess, and then we'll just slowly eliminate two types until...
I can only come up with the Paradox Pokemon right now. I can't think of the...
Right?
all that's coming to me right now.
Because honestly, it's the mascot for this gen, let's be honest.
Tigaton's so good.
I think at this point, I'm not even basing it on the new gen and just thinking, all right, what types are going to show up more in Pokemon games?
Yeah.
I got it narrowed down to two types.
I will also say this isn't including Walking Wave or Walking Wake and the new Virizion version.
Not including those?
Yeah, because I didn't factor it in. They weren't out whenever I made this question.
Okay, I think I have my guess.
I'm not happy with this guess.
I'm very unhappy with it.
Okay. I'm going dark.
I'm going fire.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Round 3?
To round 3.
Okay, at this point we've tied and we're just trying to not embarrass ourselves.
Yeah.
Grass?
Oh, I hadn't come up with one yet. One second. I might take the fucking shot in the dark, the real shot. Dragon?
I said grass.
Okay, just making sure. Maybe we should end it on a tie.
Is it Stoke?
No, it's grass.
It is grass. Okay.
You know what? I almost guessed grass as my second guess, and then I double checked myself because you said we're not considering Walking Wake or Virizion. I'm like, okay, so it's probably not water or grass if he specifically called it.
Yeah.
It's grass with 14 Mons, and I think it's either one or two more than 7 other types that got 12 or something.
Fairy got a ton of types.
Now, honestly, they
got the Dash Hunt line, they got a couple Paradox Pokemon, they've got the Tigaton line.
Fairy only got 8.
Fairy only got 8? Wait
yeah.
a minute.
Dashbun, which is 2, Screamtail, Fluttermane, Iron Valiant, Tinkaton line.
Oh, fuck. Okay, yeah.
Grass got Starter.
Yep.
Arbolive line.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're also counting all of the ones in a line, not just...
Yeah, okay.
Capsakid and Scovillion. Brambleghast line. Brute Bonnet, Wucheen, Toad School, and Cruel line.
Wucheen's such a cool Pokemon. It's the fucking slug.
Dark was a good guess because, especially with the
Legends. That's why
it was close. Because you get Masquerada, Los Kicks, Bombardier, Mastiff, Mabostiff, Brute Bonnet, Roaring Moon, Iron Jugulis, 1, 2, 3, 4 legendaries, and King Gambit. So that's 13.
Damn.
So close. All right, so
congratulations.
That was not a win. That was
still a win.
That point for me was about as much of a point as the computer question was for you. So
all right, we're tied.
I think it's a tie.
Okay. Do y'all want to decide what game?
Yeah.
How do y'all want to do it? I think it might be good just to let each of us show a trailer. Like, we each announce the game that we want to do, show a trailer for it.
I think showing a trailer will get lost in the podcast format. I think just if you... I'm assuming we all know at least a little bit about the games we're... just give like a quick trailer-length spiel to start out with. Since I've already announced what my game is.
Yeah, you go ahead and go first.
Hang on, I actually want to, I think we just name all three, because I want to know, I have a feeling me and Walker chose the same one.
It's possible.
I think possible.
So, my game is Deep Rock Galactic.
Okay. I will say, for what it's worth, I was also considering Deep Rock Galactic as one of the games. I think it would be fun if we all played together.
It's a ton of fun.
It's a ton of fun.
I'm going with Signalis.
Oh, okay, never mind then. It's not. Because I was thinking Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Oh, okay.
That is a fun game.
That is interesting.
Oh, you've already played?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, fuck.
I mean, I didn't finish it.
Oh, okay.
So I think that should absolutely be on the table.
Okay, so I guess real quickly, just do maybe 1 or 2 line description of what the game is. Although I think everything but Signalis is probably, we know what it is.
But our listeners might not know.
Oh, very good point.
So Deep Rock Galactic is a mining game. You are a dwarf who works for a sci-fi mining company. You can equip yourself, outfit yourself with different equipment, different classes, different loadouts. Once you're ready, you can go on a mining mission. There are a variety of different kinds, each have different objectives, but basically you go down into this underground labyrinth of tunnels, procedurally generated, different map each time. You can mine resources, you can achieve your other objectives like repairing a broken piece of equipment or mining a very specific type of ore and bringing it back to a location, like having to physically carry something instead of just putting it in your pack. And while you're doing this, you're being attacked by alien bugs the whole time. And it is very fun to play alone. It is even more fun to play with other people because and it's underground. It is very dark if you don't throw out, you have little glow sticks you can light up a little area. And there's a lot of fun synergy and movement stuff you can do with it. It's one of those games that can get away with a little more fun and creative mechanics because its graphics aren't super up and detailed. Yeah, super fun.
Cool. Real quickly about Signalis, I won't go too deep into it, but it is a survival horror game in the vein of Silent Hill, where you have, it's a lot of resource management. You are an android going through a space station trying to figure out what's going on. There's a lot of, from my understanding, eldritch horror, a lot of subliminal horror. It's top-down shooter with a 2.5D perspective. It's very much in the style of old Resident Evil games or Silent Hill and that kind of thing. So I saw it recently. It piqued my interest, and I wanted to check it out.
A horror game piqued your interest.
I've been getting more and more into horror recently.
Thank fucking God! It's goddamn time. Let's go see a movie for fuck's sake. Alright, so mine's Immortals Phoenix Rising. It seems, from what the limited amount that I've seen, it seems very similar to a Kid Icarus or a Zelda-like game, where you typically just go through a storyline, exploring the world, getting powerful upgrades and stuff that allow you to transverse the world a little better and solve puzzles, and it seems really good in that. It seems to be based in mostly Greek mythology, it seems. So, I know I'm a nut for mythology, so just anything like that will just snatch my attention pretty quickly. And especially after going through and playing Hades and seeing their representation of the Olympian gods, I would love to go through this one and see it again, as well as it seems to be also kind of like a kid God of War, possibly. I don't know if you end up fighting any of the gods, but if you do, it seems kind of like if you're teenage God of War esque. It's the graphics are more, what's the word? Not cartoony, but it's not realistic like the God of War games. It's more Legend of Zelda and what?
Is that it's very similar to Breath of the Wild.
Oh, okay.
When I first played it a long time ago when it first came out, I played it with the understanding that it was basically a Breath of the Wild clone.
Okay.
It wasn't. There's a lot more to it than that, but that is...
It really, from what I've seen on it, it seems like Assassin's Creed meets Breath of the Wild meets God of War. Kind of in...
I would say more
theming.
Breath of the Wild than God of War than Assassin's Creed, but yeah. I don't
Yeah, maybe I'm
stealth,
just being influenced by the
also,
it came out
it has been
time
like
frame.
2 years since I last played it, so
Fair.
my memory is not crystal.
But yeah, okay. How do we want to do voting on this? I was thinking I had a couple different options, but
let's everybody write down a vote for a game that is not your game.
Okay.
And see where that gets us.
I was thinking, additionally, if we wanted to do a different type of vote, we could do everyone
like
has
a rank choice.
I was thinking everyone has 2 votes that they can put out. If you vote for your game, you cannot vote twice for your game. But if you vote for someone else's game, you can vote twice for someone else's. So you have 2 votes to basically be applied anywhere except for your own game, which can only be applied once.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you want to do that?
That works for me.
I don't know if that helps or hurts or...
I want to play them all.
I know, I do too, but we definitely do not have the time. I've got my votes and I've got my reason why my votes.
As do I. Who wants to go first?
So, I think that, being personally biased, I have 1 vote towards my game. Is that the case across the board? Did someone actually vote?
I also voted once for my game.
Did you vote once for it? Sweet. So, anyway, here's where the actual votes lie.
Okay.
I put 1 vote towards Deep Rock Galactic. I think it would be fun to play with some friends. I feel like it would probably be a shorter experience, so we actually have some extra time to just dick around and have a good time. And as much as I want to play Immortals Phoenix Rising, I think it's a longer game, and we have a lot of longer games coming up. And if we need to prep some of us for Jedi Survivor by playing the prequel game or going back and replaying it, we need to have the time to do that. So that's my logic behind the vote.
So my voting is 1 for Immortals Phoenix Rising because obviously good game, I want to play it. My other vote is towards Deep Rock Galactic because that's a game not only have we already played before, but it's one that you can pick up and put down and come back to in a couple months as well. It's not there's no real storyline to it or anything. There's no beating the game. It's just you just run missions with your friends over and over again.
Yeah, you get like 30, 45 minutes on a mission.
Yeah.
And then you can stop there if you want.
Yeah, like you can get like 2-3 hours of fun per session and have like 1 session every like 1 session a week, and with that you pretty much have enough to base like be able to talk about the game and base what you want on. So like the reason I voted for that is because it could be done in addition to one of these games if we wanted to, just because it's a put down pickup game.
Sure.
So I voted for Deep Rock Galactic, of course, which I think puts it over the edge with 3.
Yep.
And I also voted for Immortals Phoenix Rising because 1, I've played it and I know it's my kind of game.
Yeah.
And 2, horror is not generally the type of game I enjoy.
Fair.
So,
Okay, that's good to know going forward.
Yeah. To be entirely fair, I haven't played a lot of horror games.
Gotcha.
I think Phantasmagoria or Phantasmophobia?
Phasmophobia
is the last horror game I played, and I did enjoy that. So maybe I just need to play more games as an adult. But horror is generally not my preferred genre.
Yeah, that's fair. It wasn't for mine for the longest time. I saw basically a video recommending it, and I watched it and I was like, ooh, this is very intriguing. So I'll probably check it out.
It doesn't mean I won't play the game at all. So
yeah.
But yeah, sounds like we're playing.
It sounds like we got Deep Rock
Galactic. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's going to be, especially if we can all.
Yeah.
Do we know if that is cross-platform?
I don't know if it's cross-platform, but I know it's on Game Pass on Xbox.
Okay.
So if it is cross-platform, it's not cross-progression because I have a lot of stuff on PC from whenever you, me, Nathan, and Sam were playing.
We might all be starting from 0.
Y'all will. I've already played on Xbox a little bit with Taz, Moses.
I played a little bit on PlayStation and grinded some stuff. So we'll see if that cross-platform can happen. If not, I'll just start.
If it's cross-platform, I'll be your cracked out scout again on PC, where I'm just.
It's wild. I'm playing another engineer.
If not, I'll be a fucking. I'll be a fucking driller on Xbox and fucking hate my life.
I'll play any of them.
Well, all right. That's a long-ass 1 year anniversary podcast wrapping up.
3 hours almost.
We're probably cutting out 45 minutes of it.
If not more.
Oh, no. It's only 2.5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
We're probably cutting out
We're
35 minutes of it.
If not more.
I think that's going to do it for us today. I don't think we missed anything. We'll be playing Deep Rock Galactic for the next podcast, as it got another expansion, so it'll be fun to dive into that again and see what all the new stuff is, as well as it'll be nice to play more of a casual game that doesn't really have we don't really need to fully complete in preparation for Fallen Order Part 2. What's it called?
Jedi Survivor.
That's it, Jedi Survivor. Yep. So I'll have to pick up the first one and play that now. Maybe I'll actually have time to play God of War.
Huh?
Who knows?
I think you'll like Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
I think it's your type of game, especially if you turn the difficulty up way higher than I did.
Yeah.
Max difficulty. Guys, I beat it first try. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us today. It's been fantastic. I have not been Brady or Walker.
I've been Brady, but not Walker.
I've been Walker.
Huh.
That's crazy.
Wild.
And this has been the Joystick Frequency. Thank you guys once again. Y'all have a fantastic day. Catch you on the next wavelength.
Bye.
Bye.